So as you can tell, I have a lot of planners, and each one has a specific use. I am one of those people who finds planner piece for a while, and then it goes away. And then I find something else, and I'm happy for a while, and then I have to use something else. But in our planning, as we grow and evolve in our careers and our lives, we will have different needs at different times. So I don't feel bad about changing planners. So shall we get started here? I will also attempt to make this video as short as I can so it doesn't take up a long time because I could go on and on about planners. This is an Agendio. It's a custom built planner. I was surprised to see that it wasn't as pricey as I thought it was going to be. It's online with some of the Erin Condren planners and some of the other more expensive planners, but it's customized to my needs. So yeah, it's got a clear plastic outside, which I'm having trouble getting up. There we go. Clear plastic outside on both the front and back. And then you can customize the pattern you want. And I chose this sort of green leafy one. And I had my name put on it. And I wanted a pocket inside. That was a choice as well. So here is the main page. I assume you can put your name down here if you want. This planner does not leave the house, so I didn't bother with that. It's got a 2-year calendar here, 24 and 25. Some blank note pages. My checklist, which, as you can see, I didn't fill in. And then the 2-month, and you can choose, I had it start on a Sunday, but you can choose, I think, to have a Monday start for the month. I chose the color, and you can choose a different color for every month, which I like, because like I put February is red, March is green, and so on. So we have our monthly layout, and they have checklists on the sides too. And then I'm going to flip to a weekly empty one. Apparently I suppose I've got these all. Oh, here we go. I have decorated throughout the rest of the third quarter, so I don't have to do that each week. But here is the weekly layout. Now, I had almost every one of these sections customized. Up here we have priority for each day. Important, although I usually just decorate that part. And then I wanted a layout like a mom agenda calendar had in this size, but they no longer have it in this size. And it had separate sections for different things. So I had one section put for my appointments, Sam's appointments, household things, and my work, and then checklist on things down here. And over here, we have this week's priorities. We have a mini calendar up there and a blank spot. For a long time, I have looked for something in this nature. And when I had the mom agenda a year ago, I was thrilled because its layout was very similar to this, except they stopped making it in a letter size and started making it only in the, I think, 7x9 size. And that just doesn't work for me for something like this. And as you can see, we get to a blank week here. Like this will be next week's. And I decorate this section. And over here, I often write what to look out for in the week, like my tarot reading for the week, I will put the highlights here. And I put decoration there, there. I like delineating the sections with a stronger color so you actually see them rather than just it being all black. And so I take the color, I match the color of the flare felt pen that I use to whatever decorations I'm using. So there's that one. Here's one for next month. You can see I used a pink because I've got a lot of pink. And here I used blue because I've got blues. Anyway, so this is the Agendio, and this is our household planner. So I have worked long and hard over the years to try and work with a magical book of shadows, book of tarot, and it's been hit or miss. And I was using 3-ring binders, which I liked, except my tendonitis, my hands, hurt when I grab hold of a thick 3-ring binder. So I've started dividing things up into smaller calendars, smaller journals that I can easily pick up and hold without hurting my fingers. And I use the Happy Planner size for this now. I'm not going to call it a Happy Planner because the only thing Happy Planner about it is the size and the rings. And it's basically a disc system. I put a Post-it note on here to tell what this is because I don't want a permanent sticker, because these, which I buy tons of from an online shop called Planner Babes on Etsy, I change them out when I feel like it. So this is just a spell I'm getting ready to do. It is a protection and warding spell. And basically inside the circles, you write what you want to bring into your life. And I'm not talking about things per se, but energies. Like I want drama-free. I want stress-free. I want to work with people who are auspicious for my career and who I enjoy working with. And then you charge it. And that tends to bring in what you are looking for and keep out the things that are not welcome. So I have this little dashboard, and it's pretty with watermelons, and it's got tulips on it. So in a sense, it's kind of springish, but to me, watermelons spell July for some reason. So I'm using this for July. And these sheets I get from a company on Etsy called PT Printables, or no, PT Paper, I believe. And I like their choices. And so here's the double spread, double page for the month. And as you can see, I've got my little custom made stickers for new moon, waxing crescent, waning crescent, the vine moon, which in my tradition is the July full moon. And these are tarot card stickers. So I remember to do my readings, and I intend to be filling this up more with magical things that happen during the month, but I use a blank dot grid paper to write my tarot readings for the day, and then each week I do a reading. Now, I don't have my other things in here yet, like my daily chants, my daily meditations, some of the correspondences that I want, some of the invocations, because this is a work in progress. But as you can see, August to me, sunflowers are August. Sunflowers and corn, oddly enough. Then we have September. And I love the autumn month dashboards. I probably have more of those than all the other months combined, except for possibly the winter season. But I love pumpkins and spice and, Samhain / Halloween and crows and whatnot. So again, we have September in here, harvest moon for September. And I have my own moon system. Now, while this is a quarterly system that I work on, because I don't have anything else in here at the moment, I've got the fourth quarter also here, October, or November, and of course, December with Yule. When I get this more fleshed out, if you're interested, I will show you more of what I'm planning on putting in here. Now, the problem of the 7x9 size is the page size. My printer, which is a good printer, but it's an older one, it does not have a setting for that size of paper. And that size of paper is expensive to get. So what I have been doing, other than the ones that I buy, is I have been printing them out on letter size paper at an 82% size, and then using a paper cutter to cut them to the proper size. And I dread having to do that for as much as I want to put in here. But it seems to be the most expedient way at this moment, because the things that I want to put in here are customized. They're pages I have made, not pre-printable ones that you can buy off Etsy. So for my magical journal and my tarot journal, it's going to take a while to get it all set. This is a monthly only planner. And this is what I use to plan out my releases in terms of how much time it's going to take me to write a book, when I need to get it to my editor, when it comes out. And so you can see I've got stuff scheduled. I'm only scheduling up through December at this moment, just in case something happens and I have to reschedule things. I'm trying to plan on making Saturdays an admin day only. Sundays, I always work, but those I'm clearing so that if I miss a day or two in the week, I can make it up on a Sunday. And this you can buy on Amazon easy, and you can buy it in a number of colors and patterns. This is 22 through 25. I will be getting a new one at the end of this year, starting with 25 and going on through other years. Now, next, again, I have done a disc system on this because I find that when I take notes on things, if I use a spiral bound, which I do love spiral bounds, I like them better than O-ring bindings, but the problem is I like to move pages around so that if I take more notes on one thing, I have room to add in pages. And if I take fewer on others, I'm not leaving blanks between subjects. So this, again, the dashboards that I get off Etsy, I have a huge collection of them, and they're fun. Now, what this is not exactly a planner, but it is important to my process. I am very active within the Write Better, Faster Strengths community. And it's based on the Clifton Strengths, and it's run by Becca Syme, she's my coach. And I have learned so much about my process, so much about the way I work, that it's been invaluable to my process and my writing. So in this, my strengths journal, and that's just a little page I made with some stick-on letters. And I have some things. I basically found pictures that remind me of the particular strengths I have. And this was something that Becca gave us to process our work and our focus. I have my weekly check-in, and these pages are where each week I check in with my top 10 strengths and see how they're doing and what I need for each one of them. The strengths, think of them as parts of yourself that fuel your process in life as well as just in writing. And once you know what those are, you can focus on them and make them stronger. So each week I do a check-in and I ask them how they're doing, and I journal what I might need to do to make myself happier. Now, here's another section for one of her videos she put out, I believe, on her channel, is called the Positive Emotion Cycle video. And that is a way to keep yourself out of being focused on the negative. And right now, I don't have anything in here because I just changed over to a disc system from a spiral bound. And I have just started using this. So I have plenty of note paper. Again, I get it from the PT paper company of Etsy. I'll put some of these links in the description box too. And they're just notes. And these are notes from different classes and conferences and stuff that I've taken. And this is where we get to the point where I need to add in pages when I'm retaking a class or refocusing on it so I can get more out of it, and where I need to not be hedged in by a spiral bound notebook that I can't add anything to. So this is important to my process. It is my strengths journal. And again, the caffeine queen, as you know, I am the caffeine queen. Speaking of caffeine, today's latte is chocolate peppermint, sugar-free, of course, with almond milk. I love these glasses, by the way, these tumblers. They, if they tip, they don't spill very much, as you can see. So here is my new writing journal. Now, I had this in a 3-ring binder, which I loved because I love 3-ring binders, but because of the heavy use I was giving it, the rings of the binder were catching on the pages, and it was getting harder to flip through it. So I decided I'd try a disc system again. And one of the problems with the disc system before was, again, fitting the pages that I wanted, the custom-made pages that I needed, in with the printed ones that I already bought. But once I finally decided to just deal with the paper cutter and do my best to get it as even as I can, because uneven pages drive me nuts, well, it's working better. I will be changing the covers on these to reflect the season once I get the new ones in the mail. So again, I used a Post-it note for my writing journal instead of just writing it on a Sharpie or something. I have tons of stickers, box stickers, but these are the ones I'm currently using, so I'm keeping a few in here so that I don't have to go hunt them down. So we have yearly overview. And again, dashboards. I love the dashboards. My yearly plan. And then I have yearly goal. This is next year. And I've got to remind myself that I've got an appointment with my cover artist next year in May. And then I don't know if you guys ever have used this stuff. This one's called Sort Quick, but it's a finger moisturizer and it helps you, well, it's supposed to help you get through the pages. I used it so much when I worked at the state. So this is my plan for each month this year, releases or sales. And my mission statement, which I don't want people to see. And then we have a calendar that I printed out and taped in here because it was just easier that way. And then I've got, this is motivation. Where your attention goes, your focus goes. And that's extremely true. There is another motivational quote from, I think it's either Annie Dillard or Anne Lamott. I'm not sure which, but it's how you spend your time is how you spend your life. And that has been something that I have always thought about. And 100 books and counting, just to remind myself that, yes, I have achieved over 100 books. Okay, reviews and goals. Now, these are printables, and I printed them off, or I bought them off Etsy, 90-day goals, monthly goals, and then monthly review, because if you have goals, you need to review. And then the ones for August and September. Now I come to July. Now this is actually a dashboard I would normally use for June, but I'm waiting on another dashboard that I prefer for July because all my other ones that I used for July, I don't have that many of them and they're all in use. So July, and this is a pre-printed calendar from, again, PT Papers. July, the days I write, the days I edit, a to-do list, and then I have a weekly goals, which I write out for the week. And at the end of the week on a Sunday, because I count the week starting on Monday and ending on Sunday. And yes, it is kind of a weird discrepancy that I prefer the monthly calendar to start on Sunday, but it's the way I work. So weekly reflection, and again, another printable that of what's going well, what's not working, wins this week, action steps to take. This week was, so. And then we have monthly notes. So I've got some blank pages in here in case I need to take notes. And if I don't, I'll just move those to a different month. And I got these about a week ago. So I just started this planner about a week ago. This is what it looks like blank. This is what a weekly layout looks like blank. So you've got your blank sidebar over here, and I'll show you what I do with those. And then you've got your week. And I like that it's got separate days for Saturday and Sunday because I don't do a weekend. I mean, it may be the weekend, but I work 7 days a week. I take breaks. I occasionally take half a day on Sunday to game, but I'm going to find blank one. So over here in the blank sidebar, I have 6 boxes. They're not these, but they're slightly larger. And what I do is you can see that I have writing, what I have to do for my Patreon, what I need to do for YouTube, what I need to do for my newsletter, for marketing, for coaching, study, and miscellaneous. Now, YouTube, yeah, was supposed to be yesterday, but it ended up being today. So things get moved around a bit, but so you can see I'm using these boxes in here. And that way I can, again, I take a pen and I mark out the sections so they stand out better. And you can see that I've done that here. And then I just put the boxes in on the days where I actually have something to do. And I sometimes decorate on the days or spaces that are blank. So this is my weekly writing planner. So again, August, and I only work with 1/4 at a time in here. September. Now after September, I have, and as you can see, I have filled these out in terms of the basic decorations through the entire quarter. I love this one. I just love this. I love fly agaric. I've got fly agaric on at least one of my tattoos. Now this is Patreon, and it has my list of things and the tiers that get them. These are um, the monthly posts that go in. And it doesn't include the ones that just come up at spur of the moment or anything, but it's so I can remember what I need to do when I get to the Patreon calendar, which you will see in a moment. Blank weekly goals. Well, actually, they're not totally blank. I put in the dates, but these are the ones for upcoming months throughout the quarter. Same with the weekly reviews. And that's it for that planner. Okay. Daily planner. This is my daily work planner that I keep right on this desk. And it combines some of the household planner and my work. So I've got something for Wordle in here. I have not been playing lately, but I had like 200 of them listed. And that was in a different notebook. And I got tired of keeping it in just one separate notebook. So I started a new one in here. And as you can see, some of my little stickers, ladybug. For some reason, I liked the gecko, fly agaric. Of course, money, because, this is my career. To-do list, habit trackers, which I need to start filling in, but I've got them made for each month this quarter. 31-day challenges. And again, I haven't been recording them the past week or so, which means I need to go look at my habit trackers and my notes from the other months and put them together. But 30-day meditation challenge, 15 minutes a day, movement challenge. And I've got these for August and September too. And then again, from that same company, I buy my pre-printed calendars from. Got some note pages in here. And then we have the daily pages. This way I can mark down if I have any appointments, then my to-do list, and that includes both writing and it includes household things like pay the bills. And then down here, well, I was going to show you what was originally there. They were originally breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. But for me, it's like AM medication, PM medication, carbs and meditation, exercise, water. Here's the way it looks like on a blank setup. So I keep this daily calendar right beside me and open and show you my August dashboard for here and my September dashboard. So that's pretty straightforward. Okay, now for other planners. Yes, I have more planners. This is my Patreon planner, my Laurel Denise planners, and it's her project editions. And it's a dated calendar planner, which on this side it has the month. And I love that it has 4 sections over here of dot grid. And I divide it up into the weeks so that the way I use it is like, here's my September posts that will go up on Patreon. And over here, I use Post-it notes that I cut, and they're the ones that have full sticky on them, so that I can add in, if I need to, other things, and I can scribble down here, but I tend to like the Post-it notes for some reason. It's sort of like a weird Kanban board for a planner itself. So this is for Patreon. Here is another Laurel Denise planner, and this is for my YouTube. And it's like I'm planning out in advance. And what I will do is over here, I will write notes down about these videos before I make them. So I try to plan out a quarter at a time. And yes, I know it seems like a waste, just one planner for YouTube, but I am finding that if I don't keep my social media in different planners, it gets all jumbled up together and I may forget things. And the last one that I have is for my newsletter. And again, I do 2 newsletters a week, or I try to. And over here, I can write down notes on what those are and just sort of a reminder on which days those are coming out. So that is my stack of planners. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I know some of you were really curious about what systems I use. I also have a Kanban board, which I will show you later on in a different video. And I will note the names of the planners that I didn't just Frankenplan together in the description box. And tell me, what kind of planners do you use? Do you just use your Outlook? Because I use my Outlook planner as well, but I tend not to trust it because last year I had a software meltdown and it destroyed it, basically my entire calendar of things that I was remembering for a couple of years got obliterated. So it's paper for me. I will use the electronic, Outlook calendar for my email, but I always keep a record in paper and backups in paper because of that. I hope you have a wonderful week. Excuse my voice. It's a little throaty today, but again, it's still getting better. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week and that you'll be back next week, and I will talk to you later.